It's time for Coming in Hotter, Sens post-game show.
What's up, everyone? Live from the Sports Interaction Studio, it's Coming in Hotter with Cody, Gaudreault, and Jamieson, Bridal by my side. JMO, hope you didn't have to drive today because the roads were ugly. That's the best only word I can come up with right now. But Sens come out with a win, 4-2 against the Utah Mammoth. How's it going, buddy?
Dude, we can check in with my wife on the way home from the game at this point. I'm glad I didn't have to drive anywhere. Hell of a game. What a game that was. Let's roll into, can this be the start of the team we expected a month ago? You know, like that's I just feel like there was a lot of good happening tonight, and it was all for those who've been watching us since the start of this show and our post-game thoughts. I'm huge on the little things, and I saw a lot of them tonight.
You're already coming out with those insane takes, man, and I love it. I love it. So again, for the fourth time this season, everybody don't get too excited. The Sens score first in the game, and a weird goal, a fluky goal, a garbage goal, if you want to call it, from Ridley Greig. But that got it started. And, I mean, talk about just getting it off on the right foot, getting a little bit, just getting it off right with a little bit of luck and a little bit of a really good play from Ridley.
It's exactly what it was. It was a really good play. It was everybody chipping in. And, yeah, it was hot, beautiful garbage. It was phenomenal. And look at this play developing here. It's the shot you think is going, and then all of a sudden, oh, it is a goal. Look at that. You had no idea. I looked twice. I waited for the replay. I'm sure half the people in the building did the exact same thing. And guess what? When Ridley Greig looked down and went, oh, okay, hooray for me, he thought the exact same thing.
When you watch a goal and you're like, oh, nice goal, Zetterlund. Oh, wait, no, it was Cousins. Oh, no, wait, it was Ridley. Like, it's
exactly what we all thought.
It's exactly what we all thought. And, it's the type of goal that you love to see from the Sens because, I mean, pesky Sens are back. That's part of that identity. And I see, I'm going to butcher that pronunciation, and Agent of Chaos, Ridley Greig, is perfect. That's exactly who he is. He's kind of an agent of chaos, just being a pest, and that's how he got that goal.
I love as Annie coming in here with the Zetterlund grabbing the glove off of center ice as right before, because that's exactly what seemed to it stymied the Mammoth. It stymied everybody. For some reason, everybody was just laser focused on the fact that somebody needed to bend over and pick up a glove, and yet it worked out in favor of us. You're like, I can't say it any more clearly than that. It's garbage. It is a weird little thing that, like you said, a little bit of puck luck, sure. A little bit of hard work, absolutely. The hot, stinky, lovely, beautiful garbage. Let's keep it up. We need all of that right now.
That has got to be completely terrifying to just lose your glove in the middle of an NHL game, knowing how strong some of these guys are, and just trying not to chop your finger off. Like that would.
That's where I come in. It's the chef's knives on everybody's feet that are moving 60 kilometers an hour past me, and I'm going, sure, I'll reach down to where they are. Nope, that's not happening. I could not do that. I am in awe of all of the goals tonight, though. I know we've got our takes on all of them, but that one to kick it all off was just perfect, and I really, 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 really put some stock into Zetterlund tonight. I thought his game was a lot. We're going to get to that later too. I really, really liked his game tonight, and I've got some of those crazy takes for you whenever you're ready.
Well, first, Jordan Spence, Nick Cousins, and Michael Amadio with the rest of the goals. Jordan Spence, we will talk about him because holy moly, but he also gets first star of the game, along with Levi Marilainen and Dylan Cousins getting number 3. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that.
How could you? That makes no sense.
No. Yeah, I mean, you might disagree on the order, but actually, Ridley Greig from the NHL getting the third star. TSN had a Rich Cuz, but I mean, the way now that Spence is, we've been talking about him as a point per game, player, having only played 5-6 games. Well, now he's over a point per game. He said, how about that? And safe to say he's made a pretty darn good impression on Travis Green, and he's getting his trust. I mean, he played over 20 minutes tonight.
I was waiting for you to make that point. That's exactly what he has earned the trust. 20 plus minutes. You don't move up to the second pairing for nothing. I sent you a note while we were watching the game and said, you're the agent of chaos that started this whole thing. Jensen was now playing on the third pairing. Jensen is now he's. I don't think he's finding his way out just yet. But to your point about Spence, that speaks volumes. And he had a hell of a game. He answered the call. And yeah, Road to Pine. That's exactly what he was. He was our top D tonight.
Yeah, it was crazy because he played 20 minutes, which is still a little less than what Sanderson and Chabot played, but I mean not by a lot. And
consider your point, names you just compared him to, though.
There you go. And I mean, when he got brought in, we always compared him because he is that similar style of play. I get it, he's right-handed, but he is that more mobile puck-moving defenseman rather than a more physical, defensively oriented guy. Create unleashed is a good way to put it. Only played 7.5 minutes with Clevin, which is 3/4 of the first period at most before he got moved up with Chabot. Played over 10 minutes with him, something like that. And yeah, it looked, he did not look out of place at all, did he?
I saw a couple of moments in the second, and I think this is what made me realize he was playing with Chabot, was there was a couple of misreads. You could tell that these were two people sort of getting used to each other. And my first thought was, he's just on the ice. Chabot's come on. It's time to get off the ice. Mm-hmm. And then they went up the ice, and the shift continued. And I realized that I had just messed them coming over the board together. I think, again, that goes back to what you said about the trust he's earning and the trust he's earned from Green. This is something that says a lot, that there were some hiccups. Of course they're going to be. They're professionals, but they're people. And he still let them play. He let them ride all those little mistakes, and look at how well it turned out. By the third period, I think he was shooting every other pass that Chabot put up for him.
Another little thing. First off, the debate online has obviously moved from Matt and Paolo versus Spence to Jensen versus Spence. Look, we both know the arguments both ways, so we won't spend too much time talking about it. But and if you want to pull up the lineups again, there's another little, anomaly, I guess we could call it. Obviously there's a bunch of things moving around, but no Lexell, no McDermott, Hayden Hodgson pulling into the lineup. I think we both had the same reaction when we saw that coming, and it kind of went along the lines of, huh?
Yeah. It was, why? I don't know why. I don't hate it. I like Hayden Hodgson. He had a good few games for us at the end of the year last year. He was one of the people that were brought up for the playoff run. He's right there. He's going to do this a few more times this year, I'm sure. I joked with you at the right before we went on air. I said, well, maybe they're showcasing him. Who knows? This is the time of year where maybe some teams start to. Of course, I'm spitballing here. I don't think I'm putting that out there. Listen, for everybody watching, no. All right, he's not going anywhere. But it was, I think it's good to get some reps. And Lexell hasn't been up to much. This isn't a game where you need McDermott in my mind, although Krause was a bit of a wrecking ball for the Mammoth, and it didn't materialize, so that's fine too. If the coach and the GM and everybody says, why not bring up Hayden? Hey, it worked.
Yeah, it was also pretty clear the kind of role he was going to play, right? 6'2", 220 pounds.
He's
just under 7 minutes of ice time. Not going to say he had a huge impact on the game, but this is the kind of player you do want to be. Maybe invisible is not the right word, but he didn't make any big mistakes that cost the Sens. So can't.
And that's I'm just reading Jay Sanderson's comment here in the chat. It's just, you're right. There are no mistakes. So maybe they're just giving somebody who's earned his way up a chance at playing with the big one. There he is right there. He's a smart player. He's a big boy, as you pointed out. That is not a small individual on the ice. So cool. give him a shot. He's playing with Eller. He's having a good run where he's insulated.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that talks about just how that lineup has depth, is able to be kind of moved around everywhere. And we'll talk about the rest of the lines being jumbled up a little later, but that talks about that how that lineup is versatile, and you have a lot of players that can kind of do those same roles. Back to the certain defenseman we were talking about a couple of minutes ago. He got the Sens' second goal. Actually, let's go by goals in chronological orders. Actually,
sure.
Yeah, Jay Sanderson, of course, you feel seen. Clayton Keller. I'll be the millionth person to say that he is an amazing hockey player. In my opinion, he's a lock for the U.S. Olympic team. Beat Jake Sanderson wide on his goal. Not something we see a lot from Sanderson.
Oh, was that Keller's goal where he beat, or was Keller's goal the one with the controversial pick and roll? I think
you're right. You are right. Yes,
that was a pick. All right, and if we're talking about it, you are not allowed to make picks in hockey. That I was a really bad basketball player when I was a kid, and I know what a pick is when I see a pick. All right, that was. You've hit on two things that I really wanted to talk about here, because jumping from that goal, and I think it was Cooley who set that pick. Look, the one side of me who people are going to get to know in this show, I kind of love it when you pull something like that and get away with it, and that's exactly what he did. It led to a goal against the Sens. I get to say that because we came out on top at the end of the game, but it was a pick. It was a pick.
Yeah. Well,
but the Keller goal, though, I mean, sorry, the Sanderson getting beat. That's 2 times we've talked about this in the last 2 weeks. Do we worry about Jake Sanderson? Am I allowed to say that?
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you right now.
I'll see myself out.
All right, I'll finish the podcast by myself there. It's I mean, we'll talk. Let's cover the rest of the goals, and then once we get to that Schmaltz goal, we'll get to it. But yeah, if you want my opinion on the pick, at the end of the day, the referee said that no NHL rules were broken on that play, and because it is the type of play that we see a million times a game, I'm not surprised it didn't get called. I didn't think about it twice, and I mean, look, Jensen still had a chance because it was Jensen, not Sanderson. Thank you for correcting me a little earlier.
Yep.
At the end of the day, he did have a chance to get back at Keller. Yes, he was slowed down. Yes, he was kind of knocked off balance, but I think Jensen's a good skater too, and he had a chance to get back at Keller. So I wouldn't read too much into that pick. To me, that's just looking at how Keller is pretty decent at hockey.
He's and it's when he was, I mean, his career, maybe it was his size. This is all I'll say about him. I really discounted him, and I think you hit the nail right on the head. He is a lock for the way US is going to play, and boy, can I not wait till we get to talk about a little bit of that later this year, or early next year, I should say. He's so good. He's so underrated.
Yeah. All right, next goal that put up the Sens up 2-1 right in the beginning of the second period, or right in the beginning, first 10 minutes of the second period.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Spence with his best impression of Chris Phillips.
Yeah.
Huge slap shot. Yeah, huge slap shot from the point on a great pass from David Perron, just recognizing where that player is. What do you think that does to the confidence of a player like that?
You saw that from that moment go on and grow and grow. It works miracles for confidence. And I think, like any professional or any person would want, he's getting the ice time. He got the move up to the second pairing. He got all the things that you could ask from the coach. So he's getting the good graces, that goal. And thank you for bringing it up too, because that goal doesn't exist without David Perron. That was all hard nosed work along in the corner and just a smart play. Whether he called for it, I don't know, but he made that goal happen. And to answer your question, I started noticing how often Jordan Spence was shooting after that goal. He cares. He wants that puck, and God, does he ever have a cannon?
Yeah, I didn't know he had that part of his game. He did score a couple slap shot goals back when he was in LA.
Mhm.
But now that we get to see it live, because I didn't watch a lot of LA Kings hockey last season.
Who
Let's
does?
be honest here. Uh, but no, I was pleasantly surprised to see that, because that's something you just don't see a lot anymore. Just a
Mhm.
good slap shot from the point, and I mean, yeah, especially from a righty, it was cool to see. Next goal that started to kind of just lock the game there. Poor Cuz with a nice pass from Rich Cuz. Like you said earlier, kind of a family connection on a wraparound goal where he didn't really even beat Vitek Vanacek, just kind of just sent it under his pad. Uh, that's just a Nick Cousins goal. End of story. Like that's the type of goal we see from that guy.
I genuinely can't remember the last wraparound I saw, like on the ice wraparound I saw in the
Really?
NHL. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole and realized, okay, no, I got to get back to watching the game that we're going to talk about, because I don't know, I love a good wraparound. Who doesn't? And when I saw him going for it, my initial thought was, okay, yeah, okay, here comes the face off in their zone. Go, oh no, good, we scored, neat. What a day, Like, I don't expect that to go in.
Well,
But yeah, the
yeah,
family affair, cousins to cousins, that's a nice little bit of they're not going to spend a lot of time on the ice together. So that was kind of fun to let that happen.
that's exactly what I wanted to bring up, because I mean, we saw like that the starting lineup, the projected lineup at the beginning of the game. Pretty much none of those. Well, I'm not going to say none of those lines stayed together, but there was a lot of mixing up. Like it's not just Spence going up and down. It was nice to see how, I guess, versatile, because lineup changed completely to start the game, and then it goes to, hey, let's change it in the middle of the game. That shows a lot of trust Travis Green has in his players, and just a lot of confidence in his roster in general. But yes, just cousins to cousins. Hopefully, it's not the last time we see it, because I love making that joke. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it could work out if, like, again, I was surprised when I saw Nick Cousins playing some top 6 minutes. A couple weeks ago when it first
Mm-hmm.
happened,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it uh
You
when
mean the time that I couldn't remember which cousin is which? I could. There's apparently, you remember, you mean at that time? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I didn't
I
want to bring it up that way.
I'm
But yeah,
okay
now,
with
like,
it. I throw myself under buses.
it's one of those things that anything can happen. So yeah, and then
I've got two things I can say about this, and then we can move on to that last goal too.
yeah,
I love the fact that you see them on the ice together. I love the fact that that Green is willing to just shake things up in the middle. There are two things that I think leads to that. One, you've heard on the big show, Yorkie has said a few times, this is a room that gets along with each other. And I think that translates to a lot of guys being able to know what the other guy's going to do, regardless of whatever line they're supposed to be on. With the dads in town, I'm going to add a third thing here because I just saw something there. With the dads in town, that vibe is even greater. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's in a good mood. The second thing I got to say, we're going to touch on this later, is moving Nick Cousins around the lineup ended up with a pairing that I loved. Yes, I'm going to leave that as a tease for now, because so we can get to it later. Melina Farmer, I would love to know if this is true. Put in the chat, that was Spence's father's first time seeing him score an NHL goal. Andy, is there any way to fact check that while we're like, okay,
yeah.
there he
I
is.
mean, if it is true, I didn't know,
That's a
but
nice little tidbit.
yeah, it's yeah. But quick little correction there. At least on the TSN broadcast, they interviewed Dylan Cousins and Tyler Cleven's dads.
That was such a funny story.
I love that they did that,
Yeah.
because we talked a lot about the dad's trip, and I'm not gonna say we talked about it a little too much, but we talked about it a lot. And to see that, finally on the broadcast that gets rewarded, saying, "Hey, why not talk to those dads? They're a part of this. Let's." I love it. It was heartwarming. Heartwarming, Annie, is the perfect way to put that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah, it was nice, and they just look like such nice dads. They look like exactly what I would expect hockey dads would be. And that's the vibe they gave
as
off.
a father. I have to give them a shout out though, and we can stop after this. I promise. Hearing them tell the stories when they were asked what it's like to be rooming with their NHL sons, and immediately both of them laughed and said, "No, we were given our own rooms because we stay out partying too late." I was like,
Awkward.
Yes, that's exactly the answer you want to hear.
Melina, Alex Farmer posted it. All right, cool. Alex Adams, he's a beauty, so I'll believe pretty much anything he says. Don't mind Jackson just rolling in, come in and say hi. Nick Schmaltz's goal.
He hates the Sens. God, he's so good against the Sens. But yeah, it was, you got to give it to him. It was
point
again,
number
I get
19
to say this because
point number 19 on the season for that guy in 16 games. He's on a tear. And I mean, I know Utah started slowing down, but what a start to the season they've been having, and he's a huge part of it. A guy that at the beginning of the season most guys kind of forgot about, because he does play behind Genter, Cooley, Keller, those other guys. But he's a good player. He's a good player, and he proved it. I mean, he beat Jake Sanderson-White at the end of the day.
It's not an easy thing to do. I think they are a very deep team. I think that the first 10 games they had were less shocking to those who sort of knew how deep they were. I think more shocking is the last 6 games they've played, and maybe it's the road trip they've been on. They had a 4 or 5 game stretch or day stretch off before this road trip. So I don't know. I'm not an elite athlete, but I have to feel like being at home, staying in a rhythm, things like that, those are big. And I think they're on their way home after this game. I could be wrong about that. They are going to be looking to regroup, the Mammoth are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said. And then finally, I know I saw a couple people in the chat really being, anticipating for this. Michael Amadio, 4 goals in 4 games for that guy.
Just great.
For a third pairing player, did you expect that out of him at the beginning of the season? Sorry, I'm running out of words.
No. And somebody in the chat right off the top said Yorkie's probably losing his mind about the Amadio stock right now. And it's true. I would like to point in there. Yeah, here it is. His number 22 is going to the rafters. It's up there. That's Brian. You are bang on. I would like to add, I realize the It's a Me Amadio thing has been beaten to death, but I did, just as I was saying this, come up with something that he could do. If he changed his goal song to the Mario Brothers song, I think he would be instantly at Daniel Alfredson level fanfare. I think he would he'd go to the rafters.
Maybe, but yeah, I mean,
he's killing it in every. Forget the goal. My favorite play of his today was on his butt, on his knees, and still making the pass behind their net. His secondary effort, I'll say he reminds me of Mark Stone, the way he picks pockets sometimes. He's just,
that's high praise, man.
Everywhere. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Big Daddy, Adam Sandler movie where, or not Big Daddy, sorry, Mr. Deeds, where he wins, his uncle dies and he wins all that money. There's a butler in that movie. It's John Turturro playing it. And his line is, "Very sneaky, sir." And that's Michael Amadio. He's very sneaky. You're so young. It's you need to watch Mr. Deeds, man.
Sure. Moving on. That Amadio goal also for you worked out on your betting props. So let's move on to see how those worked out, because you got one right. Let's go, man. So
plus 475 on that one bet. What a day for me. That's the best.
That's really good. So this segment is brought to you by Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook. Sports Interaction. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Yeah.
And so did you do?
Let's move on to yours first. Let's delay that pain. because
I'm pretty happy with taking Amadio. And I remember I was looking at Stützle. I remember looking at Clayton Keller. I'm looking at Cooley. I'm looking at all these guys that we've name dropped already. And the people you go, I even thought to myself when I make the bet, he's 3 for 3. It's got to burst. I didn't. Here we are, 4 in the last 4. I said we'd move on from it, but I got to bring it up again. Is it the dad's trip? Was he excited? And then who knows? You know what? Who cares? He's killing it. He's a third liner, and he's arguably our best all-around player.
Somebody in the chat said it might just be the mustache. So
he looks so good with the mustache.
Maybe
not many guys can ride. Do you think he's doing Movember? Is that what's happening?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
But if we switch over to my bets, we'll go over those ones quickly. I'm gonna be honest. My mentality going into this, I thought it was gonna be just one of those high scoring games. Two teams coming off a back-to-back. That's pretty much it. Like two really talented offensively teams, and with Ottawa's track record of always giving up a goal early, I just figured something was going to happen. Goal in the first 5 minutes didn't work out. Greig got in a little later than that. Mammoth to win the first period. Again, they're a team that likes to start off strong. Sorry. So I just figured maybe heading into the first intermission, it would be somewhere around 2-1 for the Mammoth, and then whatever happens in the second and third happens. But no, Sens got the first goal and didn't really look back after that. I mean, the Keller goal did get in there and ruins that whole analogy, but I mean, it worked out. And then Stützle and Cooley, I kind of did what you did a couple of games ago and just was safe with it. Stützle's on a tear. Cooley's also on a tear. 2 guys with 8 goals in 15 games before tonight. I don't think it was a bad bet. I thought of Ridley, but how many times were we gonna say he's due? It turns out he was due, and he waited for the time I wasn't betting on him.
And the spread was really nice on Ridley too. That would have been a good payoff for you.
Yeah, it would have.
I almost chose him as well based on those numbers. I think he was like a 370 or something. Like he was high for him.
Yeah, it was nice, but let's go back to what you were talking about a little earlier, but that's good for our bets. But every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. Go to sportsinteraction.com/cominginhot to open an account. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. So after this win, Sens are sitting in a playoff spot. Jay Sanderson, you right what I was about to say. We're beating a dead horse at this point, but the Atlantic is is the closest division in hockey. But looking at the standing, for once, Sens we're moving above Detroit and Tampa. Feeling pretty good. I'm pretty sure they are in the Sens dressing room.
It's nice to be where we are. I've planned the parade. Everything is good. The nice thing I think the most, like Boston, we got a game in hand there. Now Montreal, come on, what? Like
they're
cool,
good, man.
I don't want to talk about it, but they I know they're not supposed to be good, but that's good for them. The most important fact here, and this is a complete reversal from how we were talking about this point a week ago, not even, is the Tkachuk factor. And if we can keep this ball rolling, we've got a 3-game homestand at hand. We're playing well. The vibe is good. And then the captain comes back. It's going to be an uphill battle, as you said. The Atlantic is going to be this all year long, without question. There's going to be up, down. We're going to see Florida back up there. We might, who knows? Maybe Buffalo goes on a bit of a tear. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be this all year long. That's how I'll leave it. But if we can keep playing like this with the skill, the vibe, the give a shit that they seem to have all of a sudden, and get Brady Tkachuk back, that's a whole new level.
saying goes, you always want to wait till American Thanksgiving to, get a good idea of playoff spots. We're only 7 games away from that. And like you said, if they stay above 500, if they can keep that third place or even in that top 4 in the stay kind of in a wild card / playoff spot. Yeah, I mean, they're in a good spot right around there. They should be closer to getting Brady back too, because that's about 2 weeks from now. And yeah,
I was going to ask about that. Thank you. I had lost track of time with his recovery because it's one of those, I'm the type that, you need it, but just don't even think about it till you can have it. What's the point? It's like, it's no point.
Timeline on Tkachuk is set at roughly a month. So again, maybe 14-ish games away from that. Oof. But yeah, I mean, if he comes back mid-December with the team in a similar position they are now, Sens fans are going to be happy.
I think so. I love, where are we here? Sorry, Adam. Toronto might not be a playoff spot this year.
Man. Like, the hot takes are flowing today.
That is a I love it, man. It's right up there with what the hell is happening in Montreal right now. It's I feel like introducing Matthew McConaughey from The Wolf of Wall Street here. It's a fugazi. No, it doesn't matter. That one. Attaboy. There you go. Now you're getting it.
Did come out. Oh, what year did that come out in? I want to make a joke here.
I like it. That's easily one of the movies that I can go to at any time of day and just watch.
Okay. Well, I was still in primary school when that came out.
You should definitely not have watched that then.
Oh, I did not. I was in 3rd grade, man. I was in 3rd grade.
Your parents were cool, man.
I did not want, for the record.
We're starting rumors. Oh, yeah. I want to, and I have to say this because it's been on my tongue since I left that tease. Unless you have something to talk about, I want to get back to the line juggling that happened tonight because, I think there's something to be said for Nick Cousins. And this is, it's a good way. Once Brady comes back, this shuffle has to happen. Right? Somebody's moving somewhere. I assume Hodgson is just not there anymore. He goes back down and probably Lixell as well. Nick Cousins and Zetterlund, man, did they put on a couple good shows. Tell me I'm wrong. Did you not see a few sequences in the Mammoth end tonight where they were just annoying the hell out of everybody? And they've got skill. I can just imagine what those two are like.
Yeah, you are not wrong. I mean,
I want to see it.
I don't know what the advanced analytics look like for Cousins, but I know for Zetterlund, they look really good in tonight's game. He had almost 70% Corsi. I think it was like 65, 66, something like that, which is crazy when you think about it. And the next guy on the Sens was hovering, right around 55-ish%. So it was great to see. And yeah, if that guy does end up going back down to the 4th line when Brady comes back, or I mean, who knows? Like, we're looking at the lineup right now. Giroux started on the 3rd line. Giroux hasn't started on the third line in any of my recent memories. So
I don't think he's ever started on the 3rd line, but maybe his rookie year, maybe, I don't know. But he, you brought that up off the air too. And I think that's a very, very important distinction, that this team is, similar to what I said about Utah, a very deep team. And if you have the problem of, oh man, Claude Giroux is not a 3rd line player, but he's on your 3rd line, like,
you're not going to. Okay. Hey, the team who won the Stanley Cup last year had Brad Marchand on their 3rd line.
Yes, sir. Exactly. And that is, I would put those two in very similar context. Those two guys, they've been around, they know what to do and when to do it, and they're really bloody good at hockey when they want to be. So you have to pay them attention, especially when you're playing with 4-4 Amadio and Shane Pinto.
There you go. One thing I did want to highlight too is if we look at every team that won a Stanley Cup in the 2020s. So we look at Tampa, how much time they have to go without Stamkos because of an injury. We look at Vegas. How much time did they go without Stone because of an injury? We look at Colorado. How much time did they have to deal with without Landeskog because of an injury? Florida, it's a little bit different because he's not your captain, but Matthew Tkachuk being out with an injury and coming back for playoffs. Good teams show that resilience when those key players are missing. And how do they do that? They move around their lineups and they trust the players that they have.
Good teams find a way to win.
Good teams find a way to win.
That's what that was the other night's game in a nutshell. Philly, the Saturday afternoon game. That was the Philly game in a nutshell. That was they found the way to scrape a point out of there and move on into a great game. That was yesterday. Good Lord, it's Sunday right now. Sorry. They all blend into one day sometimes. So I'm very sorry about that, everyone. But that's what it is. It's finding, your word is perfect, I think. Resilience. Mm-hmm. And garbage goals.
your favorite.
Always.
Last little note I have for the game. Travis Green, I think it's the third time this season, could use a fact check on that. It's for sure not the first. He uses a timeout to make sure he does want to challenge a goal. Mm-hmm. And this time it did work out. I don't know.
You're losing it anyway if you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what goaltender interference is anymore. So
Kate, somebody help me out here, because I saw Graham post in defense of it being a good goal. Not defense, but I saw Graham post the open-ended view. I think it's goaltender interference because the guy who made contact is the guy who scored the goal. If it had gone around, at one point I thought it was I think it might have been Sanderson, and I'm sorry, I can't remember which two Sens defensemen were on at that point. I thought it was a Senator who put it in the net, but when I saw the replay and whether his arm is going out to find the post as he's falling backwards or his arm is going out to hit Marilainen, that's contact that, everybody sees. Is the argument really because he pushed post to post?
I know I said I have no idea, and I'm still confused on what the definition of goaltender interference is. But I mean, Canadian Bad. You're saying 3 years ago. I was surprised when they called that when they did end up calling it goaltender interference because Marilainen did have time to set up. The only because a lot of people say goaltender interference means goalie ends up in the wrong spot where he can't make the save because of contact. Mm-hmm. Marilainen did have enough time to get up and make a move toward where the play was. The thing that happened, he made the move where he thought the play was, which was to his right, when the puck was still, to his left in front of his net that ended up going in on the wide open net. When he did have time to recover. He did that post to post plus an extra, half Mississippi, I guess, of time.
Did he do that because of the contact where he lost sight of the puck and assumed it had gone around the net? And maybe that's the new standard the Canadian Bad's talking about. And I'll be honest, I don't know enough about. Well, it's not that I don't know enough. I think that if I were that ref, I would have blown it down immediately. I wouldn't have even needed. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I just think that I see the way you just described it. Okay. Yes, he did have time to make another move, but I think because of the contact that was not initiated at all by primary, like let's say one of the Sens had bumped Cooley, who then bumped in, and everybody goes down, and then Marilainen does everything, plays the exact same way. Good goal, but none of that happened. He was skating backwards into the goalie. Marilainen gets thrown off, entirely loses his bearings because of it, and then the goal goes in. Bad goal immediately. That's my take.
That's your take.
And we're going to fight about it for the rest of the season.
We're going to move on. That was my last little bit actually on the game. Going back to the challenge, just what I was going at with that is how it, just gets the challenge, it works out, and then literally 10 seconds after play starts back up, Claude Giroux gets an amazing chance, but Vitek Vanacek makes an amazing stick save. But that's the momentum that type of sequence can get you. You know, one, it's the coach being confident in his goalie, but you know, the team being like, oh, this worked out for us. Let's not waste this opportunity. And they went right back into Utah's zone,
which
was inches away from scoring again.
Do you not agree, though, that goal, had it gone in, would have probably been called back for goaltender interference because Shane Pinto was sitting on top of him?
I don't know, man.
I'm so sorry to have to say that, but when I saw that, I would love to see G score a goal. Everybody loves it.
Do we have salty JMO now? I guess every show needs its own little source of salt, but wasn't expecting that to be you. Anyways, that was the first game of a 4-game homestand for the Sens. Tuesday in 2 days, they'll be at 7:00, still at the CTC against Dallas. It'll still be me and JMO after that. So hope you guys really enjoyed the game. Last little note in the rest of Ottawa news. Apart from the crap ton of snow we saw, you know, I pretty much worked all day. I got off work at around 5:30, and I got to work around noon. So I opened the door, look outside, and there's a good inch of snow on the ground. I wasn't mentally prepared for that, but you know who was mentally prepared, JMO? Atletico Ottawa brings
they were
the first professional sports championship to Ottawa since the Red Blacks in 2016. Winning the Canadian Premier League in a snowy soccer match, which we're not used to seeing, but congratulations to them. And
if you haven't seen the snow-based bicycle kick that tied the game for Atletico, don't go yet because we're not done. But once we're done, you need to go watch that. It was incredible. Congratulations to Atletico, and good on you for bringing that one up, Cody, because that's worth mentioning.
Yeah, it was insane. Had a couple friends at the game that texted me when they saw that, and I'm far from being the biggest soccer fan, but even I'll say that was pretty friggin' cool. And soccer in the snow, man, it was cool. They had Atletico's goalie shoveling before the game at one point. It was insane. But
this makes you want to stand up and sing the national anthem.
So everybody, stay warm out there. Drive safe if you're on the road. Like I said, I know you had family at the game. So did I. I hope they're going to be a little late coming back tonight, and that's good. They're driving a little slower, but thank you for watching, everyone. We'll be back with you on the next game. JMO, I will see you later, and let's hope the vibes are the same that they were tonight, because vibes were off the charts tonight.
Going to be a great day on Tuesday. Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome night, and go Sens, go.
We'll see you later.
You've been watching Coming in Hotter, your home for Sens post-game coverage all season long. We're live after every game. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show.